This is the regular season finale of a game between the Detroit Lions and the New York Jets. Get settled here, tuning in a little bit late. I need power. There you go. And Tom is 15-0, looking to go 16-0. And more importantly, he'd love to go 19-0 to cap off an undefeated regular season. All right, so I'm settled here. It looks like this is the first drive of the game. Let's double check that though. Yeah, so the Jets got the ball and they started on their own 12. So I'm not sure if that was what combination of roles could produce that. Maybe a kick to the one with an 11-yard return. Let's take a quick look. Both teams are average in the regular season. Trying to remind myself of these, how their cards are. The Detroit return card. Yeah, so I guess it could have been opposition kick return. Maybe Tom tried to take it out 2 yards deep and it only hit a 14 or something like that. So we got an audience. I'm going to share this link out. Quick slant to Jordan Reed here. First and 10 at the 38. So Tom's worked the ball from the 12-yard line all the way out now to the 43. He's got a great Jimmy Garoppolo card, really powerful running card, and Dion Lewis. Of course, he's got Christian McCaffrey for the future. So let me share this out. Present to everyone. Grab the link. And go over the form real quick. Take the second down play first. 2nd and 5. Mick is playing a 3-4. He's got 2 5s along the defensive line and a 0. Up tackle right to McCaffrey. And Tom's running right at that 0 defensive end. Julius Peppers can't make the stop. So 1st and 10 inside line territory. See if we can get some spectators. Oops, that's not the right link. Tom's in a blocking back halfback set with Rhett Ellison in front of Dion Lewis. It's a fly to Brandon Cooks, which turns into a dump off to Dion Lewis. Julius Peppers' asterisk rating came up that time, reduced from a 1 to a 0 due to formation, and Rhett Ellison's 0 pass block rating makes that a bad matchup. So let's go over here. There we go. Liver broadcast. So 2nd and 1 as Tom spreads it out. Not spreads it out. Off tackle left to Lewis. There's a man in the zone, but it goes on Lewis's card. This is what I was trying to show you. Is Lewis has got a great guessed wrong card. Guessed right, you can get him, but if you guess him wrong, he's got a good chance at a short game. Let's take a look at that card. Oh, he goes switches to McCaffrey. McCaffrey's not bad in this set. He's not great, but he can catch the ball, which is nice. A nice little bomb here, covered by a 0 right now as Anthony Chickolo is in the game. Tom's got all this stuff spreadsheeted out, so I'm sure he knows about this matchup from a 2 tight end set. McCaffrey being guarded by a 0. Mick's got 5s at the cornerbacks. Quick out left to Evan Ingram being double covered, but look at that Jimmy G card. That is like a vintage Drew Brees double team card with completions on 7, 5, and 3. Not that I'm complaining, but Russell Wilson's never had a double team card like that. Okay, maybe I am complaining. But it's a nice card for sure. 2nd and 2, now down to the 18. Now, of course, Tom is 15-0. He can cap this game off and finish with a perfect regular season and head into the playoffs as the number 1 seed. He's already got the number 1 seed locked up, so that's not an issue. 2nd and 2 here, going for McCaffrey again. Doesn't want to waste his premium carries. And it's a crossing pattern to Stills. right, guessed right, but a 7 on Garoppolo's card is a first down, plus 13. 6 out of 7 so far for Garoppolo. This is a dream start for Tom. Nightmare for Mick. Mick's going to make the playoffs anyway. But I think he has a chance for a bye if he wins, something like that. Tom takes a moment. Meanwhile, I can catch up on my unanswered Slack messages. Tony, do you show the lines 4 and 3? Well, let's take a look. This is my league, my stock league, which is well underway. I'm sure this is exciting how you pull post-game files. Got a lot of results here to pull in. Let's see how the game is. Numbers of play. So this is the way you manage your league. Download them from the cloud. When you upload your lead to the cloud, it's just kind of like it's like a file storage area. As a commissioner, you pull them down and then you import them, and that updates the game results. So let's look. Detroit at 4 and 3, yes. All right. So we did miss a quick play there. Quickstream Cavalry takes the ball inside run and gains 2 yards. So second down, or second and goal to 3. Orleans Darkwa is in the game with Dion Lewis. 3-4 showing blitz. So Mick does have a 4 defensive end. Tyrone Crawford slant to Evan Ingram, guessed right, incomplete. Guessed wrong, incomplete. So now it's third and goal to 3. It's the holding Tom to a field goal here is going to feel like a victory for Mick. Tom doesn't want to waste one of these premium carries that Lewis has, but in this case, the difference between 3 and 7 points is kind of important. So look at that guessed right card on a line bug decent, off tackle decent, even in run can get you a few yards. Guessed wrong, of course, is going to be a touchdown. Third and goal to 3, first quarter, 8:42 to go. Nice long drive to open the game. Inside run to Lewis, guessed wrong, and touchdown. Like I said, you had to guess him right. But if you go run there and he throws a short pass, it's a touchdown. So damned if you do, damned if you don't. Actually, in this case, no. If you would have made the right call, but hindsight's 2020. It's tough to know when to call run, when to call pass in that situation. So 8:24, Mick will get the ball for the first time today. Oh yeah, we have this bug here. I think I already stepped into it. So let's exit. Excuse me. Nice sneeze on the broadcast. We have a sneeze button. All right, back again. So as I was saying, Mick will get the ball first. First the ball the first time today. And it looks like he got it. He will start at 21. Offensive onside tackle +5 or +2, and that is Alex Collins with a 5-yard run. Now Mick has Drew Brees, who's right up there with Jimmy G in this set. I'd say he has a little bit better card, especially on the flats. But Tom will be stuffing those. And maybe a little bit less on the picks. Although if you double team him correctly on a flat, it's on a 10 instead of an 11. I'll tackle left Collins again. Tom flooding the flats, both looking and on one side, and it's guessed wrong for a 17-yard gain. Mick's going to need a lot of that to get Tom out of his pass calls and get him to start respecting the run. Tom's not afraid to call run. I shouldn't say that. He's not one to call pass. He'll actually mix it up. The defense for Tom, he's got a 6 nose tackle in Kenny Clark, Miles Garrett, and Danielle Hunter. Defensive end, 5'7" and 5'8", 5'8" and 5'7" respectively. Pitch out right to Collins, still guessed wrong. Offensive onside in +9 or +4, and Jason Witten's a 5. Just missed his block. His offensive line has 5s on the right side with Andre Smith and Graham Glasgow. Jason Witten's a 5. On the other side, you got Joe Staley, 6'7", and Brian Witzman's a 4'3". Thiele and Smith-Schuster are the wideouts. So that's a nice offense. Mick's weaknesses are on the defensive side. I'll tackle right to Alex Collins. Nobody there, guessed wrong. Defensive end, +2 or +9. And Hunter, last time we saw Witten just miss a block. This time Hunter just misses a tackle as Collins shoots by him for a 9-yard pickup and a first down. 1st and 10 down at the 44. Demetrius Harris is the blocking back. Off tackle left to Collins. Still hasn't called a run. Sticking with his pass call and flooding flats and stuffing zones. And it's another short gain for Alex Collins. So that's working out just like Mick wanted. 5 runs for 51 yards for Collins today. He has kind of limited carries, though. So he's got 22 unfatigued carries. You can push that another 4 carries, so 26 total. Bomb to Smith-Schuster with the first run call today, guarded by a 6. Guessed wrong, 1 man in zone. And it's on the receiver card, but it just falls in between the hits for Smith-Schuster. Let's see just for fun, let's see what Thielen had on a 5, guessed wrong long. And of course, it's a long game. So 2nd and 10. So mixed plan, that's what you want to do. Run until you got to run the guy out of his pass calls. 3-4 showing blitz. Tom mixing up his defense a little bit. Off tackle draw to Alex Collins, but there's nobody in the zone. Guessed wrong, and only picks up 2, so he didn't hit a short game this time. 3rd and 8. Barring a sack, though, Mick will have a decent field goal chance, and that's you want to answer points with points, even if you can't get a touchdown. Come away with a field goal. Matt Prater is 2 through 9 and 12 from this range, and even if he gets pushed back with a sack, 2 through 7 and 12. So no risk it, no biscuit. Might as well take a shot at a Breeze short pass. Look for Tom to bring out the double-double, or maybe a triple-double. 2 or 3 double teams here. Harris is covered by a 4, so you could try to go over the top with him. Tom is showing blitz. Tate, Thielen, and Smith-Schuster are the wideouts. Witten stays in there. Quick slant to Witten. Mick anticipating Tom moving the middle linebacker, but he did not. It's going to pick up 4, and that'll bring up 4th and 4, and out comes Prater. I don't think you want to go for it here, but what do I know? I don't have Drew Brees, and Brees does, if it falls on his card, he gets it on 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, on the 11, plus the receiver readings on 8 and 9 are a possibility. Danny Woodhead comes into the game. He's a 0, but there's no asterisk on the line. Square into Tate. Guessed right. Go big or go home. And the linebacker in zone is a 5, so that is going to be incomplete. And the Jets will take over on downs. So I like the gumption there. I like the aggressiveness, but maybe on that first drive you settle for the points and try to get a stop. Mick looking at the other viewpoint that if I had that much trouble stopping Tom's offense, the first drive, what's going to make it even easier the second drive, and he wanted to keep up with him in a points matchup. On tackle left to McCaffrey, guessed wrong, picks up 3, 2nd and 7. Cooks and Stills are the wideouts for Tom. Evan Ingram and Jared Reed, not Jared. Thinking of Jaron Reed is the defensive tackle for the Seahawks. Jordan Reed is the tight end of the Redskins. 2nd and 7, 2:42 to go. The Jets at their own 25. Orleans Darkwood checks into the game. Tackle, pitch right to Darkwood, picks up 5, gets wrong. It'll be 32. All three of these guys, McCaffrey, Darkwa, and Lewis, all have over 100 carries, so you can run any of them at any time. That was Darkwood's first carry on the day. Third and 2, 3, 4 showing blitz. Lewis in the game. Tom will use him for his crucial carries. Run on a short to Brett Ellison, and there's that 7 for Jimmy G, even if he would have doubled him. That is a completion. What do you do with a problem like Jimmy G? Well, you hope he throws some picks. That's what Mick's looking for right now. But the running game is so good that Tom Emmy has so many carries that he can just run if he sees too many pass calls. 1:30 to go in the quarter. 2 tight end set. Jordan Reed and Evan Ingram. Seven for 9. Inside run to Lewis. Guessed wrong. Nobody's there. 6-yard pickup. Even guessed right would have been a 4-yard gain. He stays 2 tight ends. Fly to Brandon Cooks. Guessed right, but there's nobody in the deep zone. Cover by 5. Incomplete. 6 on the Garoppolo's card is incomplete. If you had called run there, it would have been a receiver reading. 3rd and 4. Big stop here needed by the Lions. And the thing with Garoppolo's card is he's got a little bit extra picks, but he's really good flat. I mean, he's not much off what Drew Brees has, except maybe on Snake Eyes. And his interception splits on 11 instead of 10. But that's really good. Square out right to Cooks. It's guessed wrong. It's going to be 11 yards on the receiver reading. And even guessed right would have been 9 yards. So that's the kind of problem you're facing. That's why Tom is 15-0 right now. I wouldn't say the offense is unstoppable, but it's really, really good. You have to be perfect on these third down calls to give yourself a shot to get a stop. So now we're seeing a little bit more why Mick went for it. First and 10 at the 40, second quarter just beginning, off cycle right to Darkwa. Guess right. Now that's what you need to do is call run when Tom's running. You see, you're set and done, but that puts him in a second and long for the first time since I can remember. First time today. Maybe the second time. I think maybe when we first came in second and long. Blocking back, halfback set with Dion Lewis in there now. Crossing pattern to Stills, correctly double teamed, but it's a dump off for 6 yards. So nice call there by Mick. It was a D on the black die though. And you can see right here, check it out. There's the D. And then it was Pepper's asterisk rating against Brett Ellison again. So Brett Ellison proving, those 6'7" blocking backs, you think, oh, they're not that great. Great on run block, great on pass block. His receiving card is not that great, but he's got a max of 27, so you can throw flat to him and short to him. Can't go over the top, but still. 3rd and 4, McCaffrey in the game. Mick's weakness is those 4 rated linebackers, and there's a defender X. Incomplete or short gain, and Ross Cockrell's 5 is beaten by the white die 6, so unlucky there for Mick. 10 of 13 so far for Garoppolo. That would have left it a long field goal chance, or Tom would have had to maybe go for it on 4th and 10. $13.12 to go in the quarter. I'm looking to go up double digits here, and barring a turnover, he will. Look for him to go a little conservative here, maybe a couple of runs. Pitch out right to McCaffrey, guess wrong. Picks up 6. And I'll bring up second up 4. Dark white in the game, quick into Rhett Ellison. There is a correct double team there by Mick, so nice call there. And I'll bring up third and 4. You need one more perfect call to stop this drive, though, and have Tom settle for a field goal. But he had Darkwood in there as halfback in a blocking back halfback set. A little bit of a new look. I think Darkwood was in there before in a 2 tight end set. Deion Lewis now in the 2 tight end set. Off tackle right to Lewis. There's a man there. Offensive onside in +5 or 0, and that's the first time that Tom has been failed by his blocking today, as Evan Ingram is a 0 run blocker. He could not pick up that linebacker crashing through. And on 4th and 4, Tom's going to go for it. Wow. I am a little surprised that Tom doesn't take the point and go up 2 scores. Let's take a quick look at his field goal kicker. What is going on there? From the 16, he's 2 through 8, 11 and 12. 4th and 4, 3-3-5 showing blitz against a blocking back halfback set. Will Tom run it here? Will he pass it? The curl to Brandon Cooks, guessed right. It's a 5-yard dump off, though, and Tom gets the first down. Michael Pierce, his pass rush rating is a 0, and Ben Jones is a 3 as a center, and that's quite nice for a dump off to happen. 1st and 10 at the 11. So Tom's going for the jugular, figuring, what do I got to lose? I'm 15 and 0. I already got the number 1 seed locked up. Put the pedal to the metal, off tackle left to Darkwa. That's going to be a 7-yard pickup thanks to onside guard Andrew Levitra's 5 against the White Die 4. So 2nd and 3 at the Detroit 4-yard line. You don't want to give up here. You still have a chance to stop him. Jay Ajayi takes him. Look at that. He's got another guy with a ton of carries that I totally forgot about. Inside run to Lewis as he was keying Ajayi. I think he brought him in so he doesn't waste carries. Tom says, I don't care about wasting carries. I got plenty. Pounds it into the end zone, 14-0. And Mick is now behind the proverbial 8 ball. Two drives, 2 touchdowns for Tom. And we'll be coming up on Detroit's 2nd drive. Oh no, are we stuck again already? I think we are. Yep. So let me get out and get back in again. Before, it used to be like you could tell, you could see where the kick would go first. And then you can decide if it wanted to disconnect quickly or not. We got Jeff watching with us. Feel free to chime in, Jeff, if you want. I don't mind a little extra color commentary, especially when you have these interesting strategic decisions. Okay, 1st and 10. We got an injury. 13-yard pickup to Juju Smith-Schuster, and Kyle Fuller has gone down. That is one of Tom's cornerbacks. But unlike most teams, if we lose a cornerback, we're in trouble. He's got a 5 to replace him in Darquez Denard. So 3 for 5 for Breeze today. This drive started at 32, so a nice kickoff return there. Let's take a look at the. I don't think I missed any other injuries. Fuller's the first guy out today. Long to Demetrius Harris, covered by a 4. Guessed right though, but there's nobody in the zone, and it's incomplete on Breeze's card. So a little sigh of relief there by Tom, as he was a little exposed there. But you're not going to hit every long pass. That's why their completion percentage is much lower than a flat pass. It ain't easy, even if you got the guy guessing wrong. And that's reflected in the cards and the blanks. Even with 0 minute zone on the D card, you don't always hit. So 2nd and 10 now, 8:24 to go. 3 wide this time for the Lions as they bring in Tate as an extra receiver. 16 unfitted carries to go for Collins. So depth chart adjustment for the injury. Tom is going to move Darkwiz Denard out to the corner to cover Thielen and let Kayvon Webster handle duties on the slot receiver. And that will take effect on the next play unless Tom takes a timeout, and he decided to take a timeout. 2nd and 10. Okay, so there we got the defensive back switched around, and he brings in Jamal Adams. A little New York Jets flavor to play the slot instead of Kayvon. I'll take a right to Alex Collins. Guessed wrong, but it lands on a low number on the halfback card. Collins has got, I think, short gains on 6 and 7 on end run. It's hard to run out of that 3 wide set to run an end run because you hit that white die 1 and you're looking at a negative. Almost the sack sometimes. The 3rd and 8 goes out. Harris comes in. Along with Smith-Schuster are the other targets. And there comes some pressure, and it's a sack fumble. Who's going to recover it? Looks like the Lions got it back, but they decided not to advance it. Sometimes I take a chance there. What the heck? That's disheartening when the guy gets a sack fumble and you suddenly rip off a short game for a first down. So Tom will have to, or Nick will have to punt. Tom calls for the fair catch inside the 10. And that's where, of course, this is another feature of the bug that actually went into the end zone, apparently. So Tom will start at the 20. Darkway in the game. Slant to Jordan Reed, covered by a 4. Boom, lucky 7 again for Garoppolo. 12 to 16 for 121 so far for Jimmy G. Defensive nose tackle +4, +9. That is solid run by Dion Lewis, who's run 6 times today for 30 yards. 2nd and 6. 6 minutes to go in the half. Tom would love to eat up all the time, punch it into the end zone, but making a 21-0 hold to start the half. Another 6-yard run to Lewis. I'm sorry, the first one was a 4-yard run. It's a 6-yard run, so it's 1st and 10. Near midfield at the 43. Fly to Brandon Cooks. Defender Xer long in. That's going to be incomplete. There's an injury on the play. It looks like Mark Barron, the inside linebacker, is going to leave. Let's see who Mick has available to replace him. So each team has lost a defensive player. Looks like a 0-0. Josh Hardy Clemens comes in for you. So 2nd and 10, Darkwood back in there. Dark was good on end runs and off tackle. Actually, he's looking at all 3 levels. Off tackle right, picks up 5. That'll be 3rd and 5. McCaffrey in there in the blocking back halfback set. Mick should go 3-3-5 here, so he can double 2 guys. And he does. Showing blitz. Bold move. Tack McKinley on one defensive end, Julius Pepper on the other. Maybe he'll run McCaffrey on an end run, but that's going to make it on some of the numbers now. But you get on the D card, you get those defensive end reads. Those are makeable now, and there's no containment with the left linebacker unless he gets support, or the right linebacker. Let's see what the play call is. Maybe he'll just go run right up the middle. Off tackle draw left. He does. No tackle +4, +9, and he makes a stop. So Tom was very aggressive on that second drive, going for it on 4th and 4. It's 4th and 1 at the Lions 48, and he's not going to change. He's just going to keep his foot on the gas. I wonder how tired I'm going to get of that analogy. He's going to break out the whip against the lion trainer, the chair and the whip. He's going to the chair and the whip. Let's try that one. See how that goes. Mick can either flood the flats or key Lewis. That's his 2 choices. Key Garoppolo too, I guess. That's another choice. Could be quarterback sneak. Tough call here. Square into Stills. He keyed Jimmy G, and Jimmy G says, nah, son, I ain't throwing it. Goes for the pass, and even if it would have been double teamed, that's the kind of dilemma you have in trying to stop these undefeated New York Jets. Pity the fool who has to face them in an early round playoff game. It's probably going to be me. My team's 9-7 down at the bottom. Unless I get knocked out in the wild card round. 1st and 10. .318 to go. So this is going exactly according to plan. 3 long drives. Bomb to Stills is going to turn into a dump off since Stills was double teamed. But it's a dump off to Evan Ingram who picks up 12 yards. A nice receiving card that is. So 14-0 Jets. 2:42 going half. A couple more first downs here. 2 more first downs to be exact. Pretty much all you can get. And doing it by running the ball could eat up most of this clock. 3-4, and Naz Jones checks into the game. A 0-4 nose tackle. That's just tempting Tom to run a line buck or an off tackle with Darkwa with all those zeros on the line. Quick out right to Ingram. It's a snap fumble, and I think the Lions have gotten it. So big break there is Jimmy G has a 1 in 1,000 chance of coughing it up on a snap, but he did just that. As Deion Buchanan recovers it. Looked like Mick had that covered though on a flat pass to Ingram being double covered by the free safety. Maybe that made Jimmy G nervous and he didn't keep his eyes on the ball. Off tackle run to Collins. There is a run call, so I was guessed right. But it's going to be the guard blocking rating. And Graham Glasgow can't make the block as the white dice a 6. 2nd and 8, 2 minutes to go. A quick drive down the field, even to get a field goal, is going to make feel a little bit better, especially since he's going to get the ball first to start the second half. Pitch out right to Jalen Richard. It was a pass call, but because he was a 3 wide, it was a wide that 1, and that turns into a guess right. And on top of that, Jalen Richard's out for the remainder of this game. Oh my stars and garters. That was a 52-yard run for Richard. Let's open the SSFA file. I didn't know Jalen could even run here. 3rd and 6. He's got 56 carries, so he can declare him for a half to be unlimited. Quick out left to Jason Witten. There's 2 men in the zone. Guessed right. That's not going to be a first down. Unless you hit the quarterback's card, but you hit the D card. A good call by Tom there to snuff out any chance for a drive there. Shutout possibility still in play, and 16-0 still in play. Cooks, Stills, Ingram, and Reed. Quick out left to Jordan Reed. And it's a short gain. And he gets out of bounds too. So again, Tom's not worried about just being content with a 2-score lead. He's being aggressive, throwing the ball. Reed picks up 14. He's gone deep a couple times to keep that in the back of Mick's mind. Screen right to Darkwa, guessed right, but there's a 0 there. Oh, but he loses 4 yards on the receiver rating. That's one of the drawbacks of Darkwa is he can't really catch the ball. 2nd and 14 now. 37 seconds left as Tom lets a lot of time drain off the clock by not going hurry up. Slant to Evan Ingram. That picks up 12. That'll bring up 3rd and 2. Jimmy G has not done much wrong at all today. Third and 2 brings in McCaffrey. Three-3-5. Pitch out right to McCaffrey. Guessed wrong. Short gain, 17 yards. That's going to get him near field goal range. Still has 2 timeouts left. We saw him use the 1 timeout to fix that DB injury depth chart issue. .22 seconds left. He uses a timeout there. Michael Rees joins the broadcast. Jump in, Michael, if you want to talk. Don't feel like I'm want to bogart the transmission. Anybody else wants to chime in? Feel free. Already told Jeff. So 2 tight ends set here. Deion Lewis in the game. He can hit from this distance. Maybe not the full way, but he's got big numbers on his card. And it's a long gain. I'm covering the card image. That's not very smart. It was a 0 men in zone. Hit to Kenny Still. So he called pass, but he had double teamed somebody else, and that left the deep pass zone empty. And it is a dream first half to cap a dream season for the New York Jets. They do a little squib kick. They're going to go into the half up 21-0. So no worries about using the extra timeout. I was saying Lewis had like a plus 25 on an end run guess wrong on his card. And he was at the 30-something, so didn't need it. Let's see if Mick chucks it up here. Gives Breeze a chance to hit his own card. Nope, it's a square into Tate. And that goes 7 yards, and that'll end the half. So Breeze has only thrown the ball 8 times today. 8 times. That's 8 pass attempts because of this ball possession. Tom's gotten the ball, 12 plays, 88 yards, 636 possessed. Mick answered right back and was in position to tie the game, but he turned it over on downs on a 4th and 4 instead of taking the field goal. Then Tom took over at his own 22, 15 plays, 78 yards, used up 806, then a 9-play, 55-yard drive to use up 448, and then right before the half, 5 plays, 75 yards, and 3 touchdowns, 1 snap fumble, or it could have been worse. But then you minimize the possessions, and you're in good shape. So here comes the Lions. Pretty much need to score a touchdown here, or at least a touchdown on 2 of their next 3 drives. But we'll see. Too early to declare anything and must score drive. 3-3-5 showing blitz, pitch out right to Collins, guessed wrong, but there's a man in the zone. And the white, so they're out of the 6 chances that can happen with the white die. 3 of them are on the defensive card, they were all plugged. 1 of them on the offensive card, that one, the white die 1, is bad. So they only had 2 out of 6, or 33%, having a good result that happened on that side. 2nd and 10. 3-4 now, not showing blitz. Quick out right to Witten. Guessed wrong. And an 11-yard pickup and a first down. Walking back halfback with Collins. Mick got a lot of good results on Collins' guessed wrong card. Short pass to Demetrius Harris, covered by a 4, but the 4 makes the play. That's the kind of day it's been for Tom. Jordan Jenkins and his 4 rating knocks the ball down, knocks it away from Demetrius Harris. Breeze has only completed 5 passes for 49 yards. 2nd and 10. Off tackle left to Collins. Man in the zone, guessed wrong. And it hits a +4. And I'm bringing up 3rd and 6. More makeable 3rd down, especially when you have Drew Brees. Tom goes to the 3-3-5. Third and 6. 12:54 to go in the 3rd quarter. Off tackle right to Collins. Containment in effect. Picks up 5 yards. That'll bring up 4th and 2. Joe Staley got the wind knocked out of him. And his backup is well, we haven't seen his backup yet. His backup is 4-0, Josh Wells. So it's time to put up or shut up, as they say. And Mick's going to go for it again here on 4th down. It is not show blitz. Tackle left, there's a man there, but it's Gaston. And it's a short gain. Completion, drive alive, game alive, as the Lions work it down to the Jets 40. That's 12 runs for Collins today for 81 yards. So he's been the motor that's been moving this offense. Crossing pattern just missed Schuster with a run call. And it's going to be an 11-yard pickup and a first down, now down to the 29. Curled to Thielen, and it's a sack. Cardo Allen was double teaming the blocking back, but the test was Myles Garrett and his 9 against Josh Wells's 0. So there was 2 linebackers coming to boost Myles Garrett's pass rush rating, and the replacement left tackle Josh Wells can't get it done. Joe Staley would have held that off. Well, maybe not, because it was a random 6. Off tackle draw right to Collins. That's going to move it to 0-man in zone. Tom has brought the house, and it's a short game for 18 yards. So again, Alex Collins here to save the day. First and 10 to the 19. Quick slant to Witten. Guessed wrong. 1 man in the zone. And that's a 12-yard pickup down to the 7. So that's going to be first and goal at the 7. Crucial drive here for the Lions. Dalvin Cook comes into the game. So he's got a little bit of a ringer there himself. Cook's got a nice card off tackle. Line buck and end run. Typically when, you get inside this zone, maybe he's bringing it. I don't know. I maybe might stick with Collins because of that. And Run has the 2 hits on 6 and 7. But this gives you a little bit more options. Just even just throwing off your opponent, like here, who the one bringing in. Better pay attention to him. You're at the 7-yard line. 3-4 showing blitz for Tom against the blocking back halfback. Quarterback sneak to Breeze. Guessed wrong on the quarterback's card. Linebacker in the zone, -1 or +3. And that's Eric Kendricks. He's replacing, wasn't there an injury? Oh, no, that was on Mick's team. Maybe he's always there. I believe he is. So second and goal at 4. Doesn't waste the carry there. Maybe he was thinking he was going to key his halfback and Cook. Second and goal to 4. Not showing blitz this time. Curl to Thielen being double covered, and there comes a sack again. Probably going to be Wells up against Garrett. And sure enough, it is. That would not have been a sack with Joe Staley because it was a random 81. But Wells, Josh Wells, oh my Josh, what are you doing to Mick's chances of winning this game? Of course, maybe he saved him an interception there since the guy was double covered. Cook comes into the game in a single back set. He can't catch a short pass. I mean, he can on the quarterback card, but he has no receiver reads there. Would they run him here? Tom goes 3-3-5 showing blitz. Off tackle right to Cook. He does run him. One man in zone gets wrong. Offensive onside guard +7 or +2. And that would have been a touchdown if he would have been in a standard set. Assuming Tom didn't have 2 men in there. Graham Glasgow's run blocking was reduced from a 5 to a 4. So what do you do here? 8:06 to go in the third quarter. You have a quarter and a half left. You're down by 3 touchdowns. You're on the opponent's 5-yard line. Your left tackle's out, which can make any blitz situation hazardous. He goes with Demetrius Harris, which means there's no running threat. We'll bring the pass rush matchup to show you how devastating Garrett against Wells is going to be. Fourth and goal. 3-3-5 showing blitz. You got to think it's going to be a short pass here. Curl to Thielen. Single cover, 4 men in zone. There's a 60% chance of a sack. This time it's not. See the 90% on Wells? It's not that. It's Glasgow against Alexander, but still 16% chance of a sack. And when it rains, it pours. That just works out perfectly for Tom as he stuffs it before Breeze Him gets a chance to get the ball off. Lorenzo Alexander is going to be a beast next year, too. New ratings coming up in a couple of weeks. So I'll take a left to Lewis. Now Tom's ready to just run this clock out. I know it seems ridiculous to say it that early, but he just has to eat some time, put together another decent drive. Don't turn the ball over. Don't throw an interception. And that's the only weakness, really, of Mr. Garoppolo, Jimmy GQ. Second and 8. First down was a 2-yard run. Curl to Cooks, double covered. So Tom's like saying, Dennis, I don't need your advice. I'm not going to just run and use up clock. I'm going to move chains, make this a 4-score game, put even more pressure on this guy. Three, 5 showing blitz. Now, Mick may be thinking about a strip sack. But Mick's having a hard time generating pressure. That's a decent matchup for him right there. Peppers and his 12 against Matthews and his 4. Nas Jones 4 up against Ben Jones 3. Not bad. The other one, tack against Stanley, is not going to work. Still on a slight delay here.
Hey Dennis, how you doing?
It's a quick slant to Evan Ingram for 7 yards. And it's as aggressive as Tom has been. I don't see him going for it here. He's going to punt it. To a 70-yard punt, too. So even when things go bad, they go good. 5-yard return, and it'll be 1st and 10. Oh. I thought it was 1st and 10 to 15. Now it looks like it's at the 1. I don't know what's going to happen. It's probably started at 20. So why would he return it? Okay, this is good. Watch this glitch out. Because there's no way he'd try to return the ball 4 yards deep in the end zone and gain 5 yards. We got right to Jason Witt. Picks up 4. Witzman goes out injured. No, I guess that was the situation. Maybe he was hoping to catch lightning in a bottle. Or maybe here's probably what happened. He let the punt bounce around the 15 or the 10 or the 5, and it stayed in there. We just didn't see that result in the spectator version of the files. It rolled down to the 1, and that's what happened. Short game there. 4:48 to go in the 3rd quarter. Ball out to the 21. So the punt landing in there hasn't totally stifled this drive. It's got some chances. 5-yard run there by Dalvin Cook. 2nd and 5. Tom's really shut down those outside receivers. Pitch out right to Cook. And that's going to get the dreaded 5. No gain. Third and 5. 3:36 to go in the 3rd quarter. He goes 3 wide with Harris in the backfield. Bomb to J.J. Smith-Schuster covered by a 6. 53% chance of a sack. Hunter against Andre Smith. He avoids the sack and gets a 9-yard dump off. So that was fun. Of course, you saw it was like 100% chance of a sack if it went on the left tackle's replacement. Good old Josh Wells. So 1st and 10 at the 35. .12-yard hit there as Breeze went to Thielen. Said Tom would pretty much shut them down, so maybe it's time to make getting him involved in the game. It's kind of hard though when you're at the risk of a double team's always there. 1st and 10 near midfield. Quick outright to Witten, picks up 10 as the white die 6 helps out. Another 1st down. Now we're in Jet territory. Button hook to Cook. 2 minutes zone, but it's a run call. My card, your card situation. And it goes on Breeze's card, but hits the 10 split. No, that's only you only get a +1 there. Second and 9. Sideline left to Smith-Schuster. There's one guy there. It's Guestron. Tom's flooding the flats aggressively now. That's a short game for 18 yards and a 1st down. First and 10 at the 24. Pitch to Thielen. There's two guys in the zone, though. I'm sorry, one guy in the zone, but it was a 5, so he made the play. That'll be 2nd and 10 at 24. Pitch out left to Cook. Guessed wrong, but there's a man there. Picks up 5 yards on Cook's card, and that'll be 3rd and 5 at the 19.
Hey, Dennis, it's Michael. How you doing?
Third and 5. Off tackle draw left to Collins. Behind a 0 and a 4 run blocker, and there's a man there. So containment's in effect, and it only picks up 4 yards. Tom had moved one of those inside linebackers.
Hey, Dennis,
then perhaps it would have.
I'm enjoying your broadcast, I didn't want to interrupt, period, but I did have a quick question.
Containment was broken. He had moved that particular linebacker, I should say, not any of them.
I've tried to ask
in this
a couple
case.
of times, but I don't think
one,
you can hear me, period. I was going to ask.
Again, in for a penny, in for a pound, there's no going back now. But
how many games
if Mick had converted one of those early
you feel like you got
4th downs or settle for a field goal, you get a couple field goals here, then you're only down 2 scores.
2 games this year could have gone either way.
That's not what happened. What happened is Tom was able to hold him out of the end zone. 21-0. 16-0 looming. Almost a certainty if he holds him here. Cook and Collins in the backfield with Harris. Drew Brees sneak. Cook or Collins on an inside run. can't really throw flat here with Breeze since you're in the full house, but maybe, that's his secret weapon. He's just going to do it anyway. It is a quick slant, Witten. So it's not going to be 2 men in zone because he pushed the guys down there. Guessed wrong for 1. Even when he gets it wrong, it still comes out for pretty much the best result you hope for if you were Tom. Imagine if that would have been picked off there. Ooh-wee. So the dream is still alive. He needs to get in the end zone. He would have liked to get down inside the 5 there with one of those plus 10s or plus 11s or plus short gains, plus 12. But nope, he got plus 1. At least he got the first down. Off tackle right, guessed correctly. Tom's not giving up the run, and that's going to lose a yard. Mick hoping to hit the 6 or the 8, guessed wrong for a touchdown. But Tom is not going to make it easy. Oh, I'm sorry. I had my microphone muted. Go ahead, Michael. Feel free to talk now. I didn't realize I had my microphone muted, so I'm sure you guys could all hear me, but I couldn't hear anybody else. So not my microphone, my speakers were muted.
Sure.
I can hear you now.
Okay.
Pitch out right to Cook. And that's only going to pick up 2. So still, guessed wrong, goes on the Tom's card to stop. It works out well for Tom either way. Even when he's wrong, he's right, if you know what I mean. So, Michael, you had a question here. I tried to ask a couple times, but I don't think you can hear me. I was going to ask you, when you go into feed it, how many games in a 16-game season do you feel like you got lucky to win? You go undefeated. Got it. Your voice translation changed it. Sideline right to Smith-Schuster. And that's why I turned it down because it's a 13-yard pickup. That's going to be a first down because of the slack noises.
Mm-hmm.
Tom said to win games this year.
Tom said there were 2 games he had no business winning.
Yeah, I mean, when you have a team this strong in the league where there's not like another powerhouse, it's hard to say. In this rule set with the white die 6 and the dump off in place, and with Garoppolo having a high turnover rate, I'm sure you can never count on anything. But I would say, I don't know what we predicted, but I would guess 13-3 or 14-2 for Tom's team when we did the predictions.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I can pull that up here while we're talking. 1st and goal to 3, sneak to Breeze, a run call. Again, Tom is not giving anything away. He's not conceding anything. But that time he can't stop the almighty, all-powerful, super tall, large man, Drew Brees, as he sneaks it in from the 3. And the extra point is good. So I wouldn't say we have a game again, but at least it's not totally impossible at this point. And I'm going to see, have they kicked it? I don't know if he's still tied. There goes the kick. He's going for the onside, but he doesn't get it. So I think it's a little too soon to do that. You can still get a stop. So yeah, it's tough to go undefeated, and especially when you have this rule set. It's a little bit easier to go undefeated when you don't have the dump off, and you have like an excellent defensive card or something like that, like what might happen in Autumn Wind or SFFTL. Oh no, SFFTL has the dump off, but they don't have the white die 6. So, but when you can also get an excellent defensive card, I guess is my point, which makes it really hard to, it makes it easier to stuff people. Mm-hmm. So now Mick's got to be perfect here. Butt hooked to Orleans Darkwood, not a good start. So this will go right back to a 3-score lead with 1 more first down. Tom is happy to oblige that. 20 for 26 so far for Garoppolo. That is got to be like 118 or 111 quarterback rating. Let's take a look at the box score. Let's go one more play. And it's a slant to Evan Ingram. This will boost the rating. And a 14-yard pickup, and that'll take it down to the 25. So let's see if I'm right. Box score, Jimmy G, 114.8. Now, I'm not saying I'm calculating the quarterback rating in my head, but just looking at those stats, and that's the kind of game that you get those high quarterback ratings. Lots of yardage, not a lot of incompletions, no interceptions. If it wasn't for that snap fumble, this could already be a blowout. And it looks like it's heading that way, down and out to Christian McCaffrey. Tom not letting up. There's another 7 on Jimmy G's card. 1st and 10 of the 12. He figures he can punch it in here to the end zone, and that'll be it. It'll be all over but the crying. Mick needs a miracle. He needs an interception and a return for a touchdown. But now that Tom's at the 12, I bet you he doesn't pass it anymore. Just run it to McCaffrey. Get some guest-run runs and take the field goal. Pitch out left to McCaffrey. 6-yard pickup. And that'll be 2nd and 4 from the 6. Yeah, there's really no reason to pass it here. Just run. Take your 3-score lead with 8 minutes to go in the quarter, and that's it. And that looks like what Tom's doing. 2-minute zone, blocking back +2 or +0, and Rhett Ellison, Rhett the Magnificent, makes the block. McCaffrey 8 runs for 49 yards. 3rd and 2. One more run, and it is time for a field goal. And you're running. Notice Tom's running with this low fumble guy. Oh no, he's gonna pass it here. And he says, "Forget you. I'm gonna really stick the dagger in there." And folks, that's it. It is over. 28-7. I don't think you would see. I mean, there was that one game, Giants and Eagles, maybe about a decade ago, where they made a crazy comeback. Deshaun Jackson capping it with a punt return for a touchdown. But that's not going to happen here. Okay, and this one we are clogged up, so I'm going to exit. So sorry we didn't have a more exciting game, but that's the way it's been with Tom this year. He doesn't worry about entertaining people except for himself. Just wants to destroy people. And he's doing a damn fine job of that. 16-0 now for those Jets as they head into the playoffs. And they'll have to win, I believe, 2 games to make it to the Super Bowl. There's a sack on 2nd and 6 as Danielle Hunter takes advantage of Andre Smith.
Hey, Dennis.
Yes, sir.
What was his closest game among potential playoff opponents?
Well, forget about potential playoff opponents. Let's just look in general. I don't have this is the league file through Q3. We can check the other one, but he had a 24-20 win against Cleveland. And Cleveland is
Me.
Oh, yeah, that's you. They're not going to the playoffs.
Nope.
But that's what I'm saying. Is this rules that you don't have to worry about playoffs. He had a 6-point win over Houston, 7-point win over Chicago, 4-point win over the Saints. And then we can look at the and a 3-point win over Jacksonville. So that, Tom had complained early in the season that he was getting really bad luck and almost losing to these bad teams. The Rams, who are going to finish at the bottom, almost beat him, but he made a comeback at the end. It looks like we had a punt there, a 42-yard punt by the Lions that was returned 25 yards by Christian McCaffrey, and now the Jets are right back into Lion territory. So let's take a quick look at the standings. Let up here. I don't know if he had any close games. Maybe I think there was one game in this quarter that he was worried about. Off tackle left to Lewis. Why are the Jets being found? Where are the Jets? And Ryan J. They played their other game. This is. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Sorry. There we go. Here are the Jets. And this is big. All right, so they beat Cincinnati 32-10. They beat the Giants 28-13, and they beat Miami 31-17. So Miami was a game he was worried about, but he handled them pretty easily. So it looks like he got another touchdown. Deion Lewis with a 9-yard run. So Tom's not letting up. He wants to get his point differentials up. He wants to have the best stats he can. Maybe get one of those guys into double-digit touchdowns or get them over 1,000 yards. Tom likes to look at those stats and feel like he's really accomplished something. And the biggest, most important stat is the 16-0. So pretty damn good season.
He also might have bet the over.
Yeah, maybe. It's possible. And now Mick's just looking to run out the clock. 2 minutes left, 35-7. Not the way that he wanted to end his regular season, so he'll be 9-7. But the good news for Mick is that I'm one of the other 9-7 teams, and Mick beat me this fourth quarter. If I would have beat Mick, he would have missed the playoffs. So at least he's got that going for him. He might have the tiebreaker over me, although when there's more than two teams, it's not just head to head. Although I kind of think it is. So let's take a look at those standings as Mick runs the clock out. I'm sure they'll have some post game chat. Where am I at here? So SSFA standings, we got the 9-7 teams are the Seahawks, the Redskins, and the Lions. So those will be the three bottom teams. And of those, let's see who I put. Did I play Washington too? Seattle. I did not. Oh, I did play Washington. I lost to them. So I'm definitely out. I'm 0-2 in the tiebreaker. Let's see if Washington played Detroit. So I'll be playing that first game. Did Washington play Detroit? I don't see that. Let's see. No. So there'll be some other tiebreaker that'll go on there between Washington and Detroit to see who I'll be playing in the only opening round game. So one of them will get a bye, and I think it might be Washington that gets the bye because Ed was saying that on the forum, I believe he said that this game could impact the buys. So let's see. Let's read that note there. Another short game for Lewis. He's got 73 yards, 3 touchdowns. Tom finally decides it's okay to take a knee. He had to get that one last short gain in because, it's always possible for somebody to get 4 touchdowns in the last 30 seconds of a game. So I'm sure Mick wasn't calling timeout, so he could have taken a knee at any time. But he decides to go with the short gain there to Lewis before he finally decides, okay, it's safe now. The lead is safe, and I can drop to a knee. So let me see if I can invite Tom on. See if he wants to come in and talk about his season real quick. Where is my Slack? So I sent to Tom the invite, but let's see, what was I looking at? Oh yeah, the forum post by Ed, which seemed to indicate that this game could be the difference maker between a playoff bye or not for Detroit. Could be, since only teams with fewer than 8 losses are eligible. We have 5 teams that ended in 8 who have fewer than 11. So far, 4 teams have clinched a first round bye. If Detroit loses to New York Giants today, which they did, 2 more teams, the other 2 with 10 wins each, will clinch a bye. Then we have the Oakland conundrum. So if Oakland loses either of its last 2 games, then we will have 7 teams get a bye and only 2 teams play in the first round. So 7 teams getting a bye, and I'm pretty sure that I'm not one of them. So, okay, so here. Bet you're glad you didn't make a deal of Jimmy for Drew Brees. The deal I offered or your counter, Tom asked. Any of them. Who knows how you'd have ended up otherwise. Great season. Okay, so Tom does not want to jinx himself on account of a regular season accomplishment. No, that's fine. So Tom's not going to go on, so I'll shut it down here. Michael, thanks for watching and chiming in with a couple questions. But it looks like Tom's heading into the playoffs on a really strong note. Look for him to continue his run. I really think this team looks like one of the stronger playoff teams I've seen in a long time. I don't see any weaknesses. You're going to have to get some breaks, and you're going to have to get some breaks, some turnovers, and just make some really good calls because Tom's got a lot of weapons and you can't stop them all. Alrighty, guys, I'm going to shut it down. Thanks a bunch, and we'll talk to you guys on the flop.